Super Bowls. Here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans. Wow, first play in the game sees 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lines.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
That's good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A man who missed all of... And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Fumble on first down. Now here's second down. And they'll run with a late signee in camp. This is Kenyon Drake. He takes this for 3 to the 29. You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Pete Werner. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Following the interception, Winston. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, second down.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Winston to give, it's Kamara. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Winston now. There's Chris Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. The Saints sit 5-3 now on the year, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And the offense last week, they certainly have things humming, because if you can run up 40-plus points a game, you certainly take a lot of pressure off of your defense, and you're not going to lose very often.
On 2nd and 11 now, Winston. Touchdown, Saints! Chris Olave, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it. So a little bit of a turnover. You went right back though and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do. Yeah. Got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands though. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now. Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down, and you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game. It's certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Now Landry. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Chuck Clark able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Buying time to his... Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzing.
Under pressure, they got him again. Justin Houston able to record his 5th sack of the season. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they come into this one with an 0-8 record. The playoffs obviously out the window weeks ago. For now, their season boils down really to one question. How do we come up with that first win?
It's a great question, and I do think that they'll get it because they've been close a few times. But in order to get it done, morale has to stay high, so a lot of that goes on the coaching staff. You know, easy to coach when you're 7-1. That's a piece of cake. But with their record right now, how do they manage to keep these guys going in the right direction? And they're going to need some help from some of those veterans in the locker room as well. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Jackson to throw. And he'll go underneath here to Drake. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. This defense for the Saints, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Jackson from the shotgun. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 113 yards rushing now for Kamara. It's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
A first down throw for Winston. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 there, and a New Orleans first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Now it's Kamara in the passing game, and they're going to get this up to midfield.
And they'll use him out in the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Winston now from the 50. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that might...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Pete Werner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had 1 week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, you get a pick 6 in a season. It's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I would play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 21 to zip. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Jackson. This goes out wide for Drake. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
But I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Drake. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 34-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And in for the Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete. The throw over the middle, taken in, and they're able to get this one across the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Jameis to throw it. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one that...
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
But defensively, they're doing everything they can to protect this early lead after giving up a touchdown on their last drive.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Open man is Duvernay. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this third quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first two quarters, they had two costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it'll be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
Flush to his right. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 60 yards. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On second down, Kamara.
And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
The offense coming back out here, plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 37-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd and 2, Winston. A quick one here, hauled in by Kamara. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the 1st down.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Lutz good on the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback.
Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. Not losing with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Barney, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower?
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
These are the situations that really test a defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. But from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control and see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 16 yards on that one, and a Raven first. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They go play action with Jackson. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
No stopping Peyton Turner on that sack. He will not be denied.
Well, Parker, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Back to throw here. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off an impressive
And my goodness, another interception. Marcus May with a pick.
And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
He's going to look deep now for Landry. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
They'll go again with Dobbins. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on fourth down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day.
And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Pete Werner.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a single caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
They're hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rhythm of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain, or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. On 3rd and short, Drake. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Winston.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
The Ravens send their punter out now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the 4th quarter. On the pass, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much right on the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
Lutz good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Jackson of the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
He starts by handing this off to Drake.
Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It was Cameron Jordan who came in and got him.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins.
And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
They're going for it with Dobbins.
And he's into the clear. He's at the 30. 10. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag.
And they'll accept that penalty.
Justin Tucker to kick off the ball.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. And they they take a knee.
Well, partner, under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Saints, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it's another week